People. Each one of us has our own personal story. It is likely that at some point in our lives, long-term care will influence that story. Fortunately, in Broome County, we have a long-term care system that is ever-evolving to meet the needs of the community. It is the professionals that listen and respond to our stories that ensure the system is constantly adapting to our changing needs. Today, we will take a short glimpse into a few of our neighbors' stories. First, we will hear from Sarah, who has taken full advantage of local services to regain her independence after a debilitating accident. Next, we will hear from Chet, who was able to fill his need for a little extra help around the house by reaching out to local providers. And finally, we will hear from Rosemary, who was able to organize her daughter's care to meet her needs in a non-invasive manner. These are the stories of our community.
When I was in rehab, they said, a lot of the care you probably will have to take care of, but as much as you can get off of your shoulders, take advantage of it. And we've tried to do that, and it seems to work very well. It was very difficult at first. Actually, we had to go through so many different agencies before we finally found two good agencies, and we just recently found the two good agencies. Probably I'd say 2 years ago is when we finally got solid coverage. Through my two agencies, I have three now because I just got a new night nurse. And then through Consumer Directed, we have a lot of aides. We have friends and my grandma and my brother, and the Consumer Directed, it's so flexible. So if my mom, something happens and mom's like, oh my goodness, I need somebody now, I can call anybody on my list of aides and say, listen, this emergency came up, can you please get here as soon as possible? And for the most part, everybody usually will come right away. So that works out so nicely. With the agencies, you're not allowed to, go in a vehicle with the aid or whatever. With Consumer Directed, if I teach you how to drive my van, then you can take me, and that's great too. Because a lot of my Consumer Directed aides, I've taught how to get me in and out of the van and take me places, and so we can gets me out of the house and not have to do it with my mom. So that's really nice. It gives us that space with somebody different. I work at Calvin Coolidge Elementary School. I volunteer 4 days a week. I go and I'm trying to teach the kids at a young age to get used to somebody in a wheelchair at a young age, so that hopefully, I'm hoping that when they grow up and down the years down the road, that they'll know that not to judge somebody so quick in a wheelchair, and that it is okay to be in a wheelchair, and that you don't have to be afraid of us, and hopefully that they won't stare and point like a lot of adults do. You find that a lot of adults, I get more stares and points and whispers from adults than I do children. Fortunately, that we have good agencies and stuff like that, because if we didn't have the agencies available and the Consumer Directed hours, I probably, unfortunately, wouldn't be able to live here, because obviously my dad works and my mom would never be able to take care of me by herself. Though the one lady that I was in rehab with, she couldn't get the kind of services that I had, and I forget what state she was in, but she, they couldn't provide for her, and she was being left in bed a lot, and bed sores and stuff like that. And then I have my roommate that I keep in contact with. She lives in Vermont, and the things she tells me, and I'm like, wow, that would never happen here. I got wounds and they can't be taken care of. And it's like, we have the wound care, and we have specialists that can take care of problems like that, and you don't have to go to another state or town or city. You can get it taken care of right here. I hope that the availability will be there when I'm ready. I'm not ready yet because I like being home with my mom, but and my pets and stuff like that. But down the road, obviously everybody gets older. My parents are going to get up there and not be able to take care of me, and then I think I'll look for a place of my own. So yeah, I'm hoping someday that, and I've been told that the services are there and stuff, so we'll just wait and see and cross that line when we get there.
I lost my hand when I was 8 years old. I had to switch from right to left, and then moved down. But I moved down to Binghamton with my dad. And he went to work for Lynx. And while I was in school, I played varsity baseball and basketball for North High. And then from there, I went to spring training with the Phillies. I've been on probably almost every ballpark on the East Coast where they had a ball club. Ever since the Mets built a ballpark down here. Yep. They were building it when I come here. I mean, I was down and out. I was with the HUD, the whole ball of wax. And they just brought it back, and now I was starting to get my self-confidence back. I was up to the Office of the Aged on the 4th floor up there, and I asked him up there, do you know anybody that clean houses? Because my house was a mess. Believe me, it was a dump. And they referred me. He said, well, walk right across the hall and try to talk to a girl over there. So I went over there. Sure enough, set me right up. I mean, yeah, I had dirty clothes from here down stacked. Yeah. It had to be a year's worth, because I had, you know, every Christmas you get, or birthdays or something like that, you always get shirts and stuff like that. And so I had plenty of them, so all you got to do is, and they just throw. Believe me, if it wasn't for my vision, I can't even read my own writing. In fact, this is a lifeline phone. I can't pick it out of the phone book, any numbers. I got to have somebody do it for me. And then I got a good girl that works on Thursday. I have 2 girls, you know, one on Tuesdays and Thursday there. But the one, Debbie, she's quite a gal. She's strictly business. I mean, I can't, you know, they let me, if I go out, walk up to the bank or something like that, and she'll go up and walk with me and come back. And then if I take too much time, you know, she got to get back here and go to get things done. It made a new person out of me.
Did it?
Oh, yeah.
How do you figure?
Well, it's, I mean, I was down. I mean, not really down. It's self-confidence, nothing. And they come in, clean the whole house. They did everything. Oh, man, it was amazing what they did.
One of the things that I think was the most beneficial in the beginning of her care is that we had so many services and evaluators, and we had, you know, every 3 months, every month, from one place, from another place, and we had so many people that were in and out of the house that finally I said to the case manager, this is totally disrupting my life. This child cannot have a normal life if they're continuously, this is not what homes are like. So what you need to do is have everyone come on the same day. And there, because I had 3 other children as well. And so, you know, it was like total disruption all the time. It was like always having company. It was horrible. And finally I said to the case manager, what can we do about this? And, you know, kind of brainstormed together and came up with a plan that said, no, all the people who need to see Megan, the nurses, the case managers, everybody, will come on the same day. The case manager from CASE actually coordinated all of that, and also our nurse manager from interim, and coordinated all of that. And it was such a relief, because there were days I couldn't get out of my pajamas until 3 o'clock in the afternoon because I was answering the door and getting the stuff for the therapist. And of course, as the parent, you want to watch what's going on. So you want to make sure that all of the services from each person, whether it's nursing or yourself or your children, because your older children play with the baby who has the problems, and why not incorporate some therapy there? And that's what they did. So, you know, you were the person who, I always wore the hat of coordinating everything, and it was terrible. It was like not having a life and depressing. And it was very hard to get out of the house, even when you had no therapy, because you just had all this stuff. The house was a mess. There was, you know, the food was everywhere. You just had to try to get it all together, and it was awful. So CASA really helped that way with the case managers.
It's nice to be able to be at home, though, and not have to be in the hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel uncomfortable in the hospital.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are you more comfortable at home?
Mm-hmm. Watching TV, listening to music, nobody to talk to but myself.
So pretty much you're happy being here? Having everybody come here instead of you having to go someplace else?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So normal.
So normal.
What's a good thing about when you have somebody like Tammy come and help you? What's nice about that? What do you guys do?
Homework.
Homework. Is that fun?
No.
But it's got to be done, right?
Yes, but it's gotta be done.
Yeah. And then what do you do? Usually you and Tam.
Sometimes watch TV, go for a walk. Like,
You eat dinner, right?
we eat dinner, like anything.
Having a single point of entry where all of the information is at one place. If the person you're speaking to isn't aware of it or isn't aware of what's going on, they can always look into it and get back to you, which is great. And I think understanding all the services that are out there at one place is going to be helpful, because at this point I don't know what she's going to want to do. She's still, I'm envisioning seeing her stay in school until 21. She may have different ideas about that. I don't know what she's going to want to do. I'd like to see her be independent, be able to navigate where she's living, whether it's in the city or another city or town, and be able to have the ability to do the things that a normal adult would do: shopping, meal planning, preparation, a job, peers that are her peers that she can relate to, a community that welcomes her, a community that has a place for her and doesn't see her as one of the special children. Because I really believe that I have 4 children, 3 other children besides Megan, and special children, all children are special. They all have their own needs and their own places that they need help with. And I think sometimes people forget that people with disabilities are people first, and they're more typical of other people in the world than they are not typical of them. Their disability is a very small part of who they are. And I think we've done such a good job at trying to give them all these extra services, it's kind of segregated them. And there are certain things they need that other people don't need. But I think, again, when you see an agency coming in and going, okay, this is what's available, not every person needs the same thing, whether you have a disability or not. So when the agency comes in and can say, this is what's available with the help of the family and the individual, finding what, you know, what fits you. And I think we're moving in that direction. There's some real positive things happening there.
These stories and many more are shaping Broome County's long-term care system. Its future depends on a community that continues to listen.